There's something uniquely terrifying about receiving a letter. It's words scrawled by an unknown hand, knowing someone out there is watching you. Tonight, I'm diving into a chilling true story from 2018, a tale of mysterious letters that terrorized a family in Circleville, Ohio, and left a town gripped by fear. This is Letters from the Unknown. Who is watching you? Journey that will hook you from the first word and keep you on edge until the very end. I first stumbled across this story while scrolling through an old true crime forum, a post buried in a thread about unsolved mysteries. It mentioned the Circleville letters, a series of anonymous notes that plagued a small town for years, filled with secrets, threats, and an eerie omniscience. At first, I thought it was just a local legend, the kind of gossip that festers in quiet places. But as I dug deeper, poring over newspaper archives, police reports, and interviews with those who lived through it, I realised this was no urban myth. It was a real-life horror story, one that began with a single envelope and spiralled into a nightmare of paranoia, betrayal, and unanswered questions. Circleville, a sleepy town of 14,000, became a place where no one felt safe, and the terror started with a woman named Mary Gillespie. Let's go back to the summer of 2018, when Mary, a 42-year-old school bus driver, lived with her husband, Ron, and their two kids, 16-year-old Emily and 12-year-old Jacob, in a modest ranch house on Maple Street. Circleville was the kind of place where people left their doors unlocked, where neighbours shared backyard barbecues and kids rode bikes until dusk. Mary was well liked, known for her warm smile and knack for remembering every kid's name on her bus route. Ron worked at a local factory, a steady man with a dry sense of humour. Their life was ordinary, even idyllic, until the first letter arrived in late June. Its envelope plain, the address typed in block letters, no return address. Mary found it in their mailbox on a humid afternoon, tucked between bills and flyers. She opened it, expecting a neighbour's invitation or a school notice, but her face paled as she read. The letter was typed, single-spaced, and unsigned, its tone venomous. It accused Mary of having an affair with the school superintendent, Gordon Massey, a married man who oversaw the district. "I know what you're doing," it read. "I see you with him. Stop, or everyone will know." The letter detailed Mary's routines, when she left for work, where she parked her bus, even what she wore. Mary's hands shook as she showed it to Ron, who laughed it off at first, calling it a cruel prank. But Mary wasn't so sure. The details were too specific, too intimate. Someone had been watching her. Ron burned the letter, hoping to forget it, but a second one arrived a week later, this time addressed to him. "Your wife is a liar," it said. "She's betraying you with Massey. I'm watching your house." Ron's temper flared. He confronted Mary, who swore she was faithful, tears streaming down her face. The kids overheard, Emily retreating to her room, Jacob clinging to his mom. Ron drove to the police station, handing the letter to Officer Tom Hayes, a veteran who'd seen his share of small-town drama. Hayes promised to investigate, but with no fingerprints or postmark clues, there was little to go on. He suggested it was a disgruntled co-worker or a kid playing a joke. Ron wasn't convinced, and neither was Mary, who started checking the windows at night, her sleep broken by every creak. The letters kept coming, sometimes 2 a week, each more menacing. They detailed private moments, Mary's late-night coffee runs, Ron's argument with a co-worker, even Emily's secret crush on a classmate. One letter warned, "I'm closer than you think. Keep your doors locked." The family's sense of safety shattered. Mary stopped driving her bus route, taking a leave of absence, her nerves frayed. Ron installed a security system, its cameras scanning the yard, but the footage showed nothing, just empty streets and swaying trees. Jacob refused to play outside, whispering about a man in the shadows he'd seen near their mailbox. Emily, defiant, started sneaking out to meet friends, but even she admitted feeling watched, like eyes followed her down the street. By August, the letters spread beyond the Gillespies. Neighbours received them, accusing Mary of corrupting the town and urging them to shun her. The school board got one, demanding Massey's resignation. Massey, a balding man in his 50s, denied any affair, but the rumours cost him his job. The letters were relentless, typed on different machines, mailed from nearby towns: Columbus, Chillicothe, Lancaster, making tracing impossible. The police set up a sting, watching mailboxes, but the writer was a ghost, always a step ahead. Circleville turned on itself. Friends stopped talking, neighbours avoided eye contact, and Mary became a pariah, her name whispered in grocery stores. The Gillespies' phone rang at odd hours, only static or heavy breathing on the line, adding to their dread. The horror peaked in September, when a letter arrived with a Polaroid photo. It showed Mary's house at night, the living room window glowing, her silhouette visible as she read to Jacob. The note read, "I'm inside your life. You can't hide." Mary screamed, dropping the photo, her mind racing. Someone had been feet from her home, watching her family. Ron grabbed his shotgun, patrolling the yard, but found no footprints, no clues. The police increased patrols, but the letters didn't stop. One, addressed to Emily, chilled her to the bone. "I know where you go at night. Be careful." Emily confessed to sneaking out, terrified the writer had followed her. The family stopped opening mail, letting it pile up, but the letters kept coming, slipped under their door or taped to their car. In October, the terror took a physical turn. Ron was driving to work when a makeshift sign appeared on Clinton Road, a rural stretch near town. It read, "Mary's a whore, leave Massey." Ron slammed on the brakes, ripping it down, but noticed a string tied to the signpost, leading to a small box hidden in the grass. His gut screamed danger. He called the police, who arrived with a bomb squad. The box contained a crude device, a 30-cal revolver, rigged to fire if the string was pulled. It was meant for Ron, the police concluded, a trap set by the letter writer. The gun was traced to a local man, Paul Freshour, Ron's brother-in-law, who'd been feuding with the family. Paul denied everything, but his typewriter matched some letters, and he was convicted of attempted murder in 2019, sentenced to 7 years. The Gillespies hoped it was over, but the letters continued, even with Paul in prison. They accused the police of framing him, taunted Mary with new secrets, her panic attacks, Ron's drinking. One letter, mailed from Florida, read, "I'm still here, I see you." The family's sanity unravelled. Mary saw shadows outside, heard whispers through the walls. Emily dropped out of school. Jacob stopped talking. Ron's health deteriorated, a heart attack striking in 2020, which he barely survived. The letters slowed by 2021, but never stopped entirely. A final one, in 2022, simply said, "I'm watching." The Gillespies moved to Akron, their house sold at a loss, their lives forever scarred. I've read every article, every post, even tracked down a Circleville librarian who knew Mary. She said the town still whispers about the letters, some believing Paul was innocent, others convinced a network of writers was involved. I spoke to Officer Hayes, retired now, who admitted the case haunts him. No fingerprints, no DNA, just words that tore a community apart. The Polaroid, kept in evidence, shows Mary's window, her face blurred but unmistakable. Who took it? Who's still out there? The Circleville letters are unsolved, a mystery that lingers like a shadow. This is Letters from the Unknown. Who is watching you? A warning that evil can hide in an envelope in plain sight. On the Nightmare Archive, we chase the truth, no matter how terrifying. So what's in your mailbox? Who's watching you? Lock your doors, because this nightmare is real and it's closer than you think.